I think back to every year prior to 2017, doing videos on YouTube, and I think back, how often did I talk about the auto industry? Regardless of what the topic was about the auto industry, whether it was financing or the fact that they couldn't sell the cars, the inventories are building up. And when I say financing, meaning subprime financing going way up because there ain't enough other people wanting to buy new cars apparently, so they got to lend to lower credit score people. Whatever the topic happened to be about auto industry. I'm not sure how often I would have talked about it in an entire year's time. But in 2017, we're halfway through the year, I've talked about this subject, as an old timer once told me, more than you can shake a stick at it, much less lick it. Somebody tell me what the hell that means. Or, you can't even shake a stick at it, much less lick it. What the hell does that mean? I need a Southern Democrat. You ought to get a rich man to vote like that. ISIS coming from the South. We let the men battle shut my mouth. Taxpayer money gone with the wind. Military contractors win again. That was a little parody I did for Alabama that I've already erased off of YouTube. It's gone. Sorry about that. But seriously, someone from the dirty South tell me you can't even shake a stick at it. Just that part. Let's define that for me. And then the second part, much less lick it. Lick the stick or lick the thing you're talking about. Or like on the movie Christmas Story, when the kid licks the pole and his tongue gets stuck to the pole. Is that what we're talking about? No. Wolfstreet.com, Hyundai-Kia brutally crushed in China and mauled in the U.S. So I got a sneaky suspicion this is going to be a lesson to any of the other car companies, Ford, who think going to China will fix everything. I got a sneaky suspicion. I haven't read this yet. First time. Its largest and second largest markets. In how much trouble is it? Hyundai Motor Group is getting brutally crushed in its largest market, China. Lindsay Williams, watch China. China's the big one. Where it is, or rather was, the third largest automaker behind GM and Volkswagen, and it is getting mauled in the second largest market, the U.S., where it is the seventh largest automaker behind the big three U.S. automakers and the big three Japanese automakers. Hyundai Motor Group came about in 1998 after the Asian financial crisis, when it obtained a controlling stake in Kia after Kia went bankrupt. The Korean conglomerate, in addition to automakers Hyundai and Kia, has other affiliates, including Hyundai Steel, logistics company Hyundai Glovis, and auto component supplier Hyundai Mobis, all of which are listed separately on the Korean Stock Exchange. These entities support and supply the automakers Hyundai and Kia are dependent on what the automakers sell. And both automakers are in the same boat in China, where things were already hard before the 2017 collapse began. I'm going to move my camera in for a second. Hang on. See if that's any different, any better. Yeah. Even though my shirt's a little bit cut off, we're going to go ahead and go for that one. Although, if I'm reading over here, my face is really away from the camera. No. Chef Ramsay would say, back in line. Back on your face on the other TV, on the other screen. Nope, too high. Hold on. Bear with me, folks. There we go. There's that ugly mug. In 2016, both brands combined sold 1.79 million vehicles in China. For this year, the company set a lofty target of 1.95 million vehicles, a 9% increase. That would have been a push under the best conditions. In 2015, their sales fell to 1.65 million vehicles from 1.77 million in 2014, according to car sales base. In other words, 2016 sales were up only 1.4% from 2014. So that targeted 9% increase in China in 2017 might have been illusory to begin with. Overall sales in China were up only 3% in the first half of 2017. All global automakers are battling it out in China, by far the largest market in the world, and they're battling a slew of domestic automakers that are rapidly learning how to make cars and sell them for less. Then came 2017. The problem shifted into high gear in March. Sales in China for Hyundai and Kia combined plunged by 62% in June year over year to only 54,000 vehicles. For the 4 months of March, April, May, and June combined, sales plunged 61% compared to the same period just last year, despite, by the way, huge incentives and discounts. If you want to know what this looks like on a chart, how about that? 2014, 15, 16, and ow, baby. Very ow. 2017. Why did this fiasco happen? Hyundai's explanation, with a lot of truth to it, is that this is out of its control, and this is due to a diplomatic dispute between China and Korea over the installation of the U.S. THAAD anti-missile system in South Korea that has riled the Chinese government, which then artfully engineered a consumer boycott against Korean brands, though they're manufactured in China. China is good at this. Japanese automakers went through it, as did Apple and other companies. It's part of China's communication toolset. But even before the diplomatic imbroglio erupted, Hyundai-Kia sales in China were already under pressure for a number of reasons. GM, Nissan, and Toyota launched inexpensive models in China to compete effectively with local brands, but Hyundai had no such strategy. Kim Pyong-mo, an analyst at Dongbu Securities in Seoul, told the Nikkei. China is one of the most unforgiving markets in the world, and strategic errors get expensive in a hurry. Quote, the sharp drop in sales of Korean auto brands is not simply due to the THAAD missile effect. We believe there's a wide range of factors, such as changes in the auto market structure in China, the rise of local automakers, and the increased competitiveness of Japanese brands. Cho Cheol, a researcher at the Korea Institute for Industrial Economics and Trade, said. The Korean brands hadn't kept up with changes in the Chinese market. As the quality of the domestic brands has improved, they squeeze Korean brands from the bottom up. At the same time, US, Japanese, and European automakers are squeezing them from the top down. But the conglomerate's problems are not limited to China. In the US in June, Hyundai vehicles sales plunged 19% year over year, and Kia sales 10%, according to auto data. For the first 6 months, sales of both brands combined dropped 9% year over year. Hyundai is getting crushed in car sales, down 24% year over year in June, and Kia is getting crushed in truck sales, small SUVs, down 23%, even though small SUVs are hot in the US. And speaking of Kia, there's a Kia dealer, and I think it's in Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida. Now, that's a little drive from here, Tampa. And even in Orlando, because when I was in Orlando Monday doing the little consulting job, I'm trying to think what station. I don't remember the station, but I heard the same Kia commercial about that Kia dealer in Sarasota, way the hell out there in Orlando. Guy named Billy. We're gonna have this sale. It's gonna be huge, Tampa. It's gonna be huge. And they play that commercial so much, and they change it up a little bit. We're going to give you a 70-inch screen TV with every purchase of any Kia. It's going to be huge. Tampa is going to be huge. They are blasting the commercials out. And now I can see why. Because the Kia sales down 10% is huge. Unfortunately. I don't like to see people suffering. I want to know that the dealer down there is Billy. I want Billy to do good. I want his dealership to sell like they're selling hotcakes, bang, one after another. I want everybody to be successful. I want the United States to come back out. Again, let's make America great again. Don't know if that's going to be possible. Not that it's Trump's fault. I don't know that that's going to be possible. For the first 6 months, sales of both brands combined dropped 9% year over year. Hyundai is getting crushed in car sales, down 24% year over year in June. And Kia is getting crushed in truck sales, small SUVs, down 23%. even though small SUVs are hot in the US. In the US, new car sales are plunging for three main reasons. One, rental car companies are overfleeted and are curtailing their purchases. They're getting sold on the auction. They're being bought up as off-lease vehicles, which is how Jason Ep 4, for the millionth time, got his 2015 Nissan Leaf, fully electric, $10,000, 14,000 miles on it. $30,000 car. How? For number one, rental car companies are overfleeted and are curtailing their purchases. That's exactly how I got mine. Bought it from a dealer who got it from the auction, which was a lease turn-in. Which I don't know if it was an auction, but it was a lease turn-in ultimately. Number two, recent model year used cars are getting cheaper and are plentiful, competing with the new vehicles, but cost a lot less. See my answer of what I just said for my 2015 car. Number three, and American car buyers continue to switch to trucks, pickups, SUVs, crossovers, vans. All major automakers are getting hit by the first two factors, but the Korean automakers don't seem to have a compelling lineup in the trucks segment and cannot benefit from the switch to trucks. The models they do have are getting long in the tooth. Then there's another problem in the US. Hyundai's aura of good fuel economy took a hit, along with its reputation, when it settled allegations for $41 million in fines that it had been misleading US car buyers with exaggerated fuel economy claims. No, you don't suppose someone would be lied to. In this economy, in this country, be lied to? Come on. This is USA, baby. USA. We don't do that here to each other. I hear you now. Joe, it's the only way to survive these days. How can I screw the next guy over more than he can screw me over somehow? And when the next guy comes, how can I screw him over more? That's what we've become in this country. But not Snippy. Old Snippy tries to keep his morals where they've always been, which is in a good place. Since the fuel economy issue had popped up, sales of Hyundai Motor in the U.S. market have been stagnant or declined, Lee Sang-hun, an analyst at IBK Securities, said. Even globally, Hyundai-Kia sales fell by nearly 9% in the first half of 2017. The diplomatic row in China will eventually blow over, as it did with the Japanese automakers, but it will take time. It's going to take a little time to think things over. Nope, it's going to take a little more time than that for this recovery to happen. But it will take a little time and will be very costly for Hyundai-Kia and the conglomerate's affiliates supplying the two. It will give the Chinese brands more time to move into the space and get established. So the damage may not be temporary, and the other problems Hyundai and Kia have, such as in the US, are even more intractable, where the shift from cars to trucks has thrown the entire market into turmoil. Wow. Another car video. Imagine that. And we're including China this time. The place where Ford and other people want to go and run to, we'll sell our cars there for... We'll manufacture them cheaper and then sell them back to the US and China. Oh, wait a minute. See Hyundai, Kia, Ford, to see how that worked out for you. Or how it's going to work out for you. Yeah. Take care.